County Council meeting's now in session. If you'd stand for invocation, pledge of allegiance. Our Heavenly Father, guide this council as we do the work of the citizens of York County. Bless us with your knowledge and goodwill. In your name, amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First order of business is oath of office. When I call your name, if you'd come forward so Mr. Kendry can swear you in. Leslie Sizemore, Frank Knotts, Jimmy Langley, and Billy Weather. Thanks.
I do solemnly swear that I am duly qualified, according to the Constitution of this state, to exercise the duties of the office to which I have been appointed, and that I will, to the best of my ability, discharge the duties thereof, and preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of this state and of the United States. So help me God. Congratulations.
I believe Ms. Sizemore is coming. Yes, sir, right here.
Yeah, just
You get, it's like a receiving line. Thank you. Appreciate you.
thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you for serving.
Thank you for this.
I do solemnly swear that I am duly qualified, according to the Constitution of this state,
Is that bad?
to exercise the duties of the office to which I have been appointed, and that I will, to the best of my ability, discharge the duties thereof, and preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of this state and of the United States. So help me God. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, that's all right. Thank you.
Thanks, Leslie. Appreciate it.
Thank you for serving.
Okay, next order of business is appearances. Dr. Walt Collins. Yes, sir. And if I could ask, we have one or two people leaving in about an hour. We're going to lose a quorum. So could you keep it to 5 minutes or so?
Absolutely. Glad
sir.
to. Thank you, Chairman Blackwell.
Yes, sir.
Members of the York County Council. It's great to be back in front of you, the fourth time in 4 years, and to give you an update about USC Lancaster campus. It's exciting news, I have to tell you. We are the largest we've ever been at USC Lancaster in our history, almost 60 years now. We're serving 1,845 students this fall semester, about another 200 that belong to other campuses, but that take classes and will receive their degree through our campus. So just a little over 2,000 students. We're very excited about that this year. About, 687 of those are York County residents, or originally from York County. So we serve those in the high schools through dual credit, of course, in the schools in this county. And then many of the students come to our campus in neighboring county here. In the beginning of the month, we had our scholarship luncheon. We award over $200,000 in scholarship money to students every year. And we have about 135 individual scholarship funds where that money comes through. Many of those are endowed funds, very generous donors who benefit the students in our community, and so we're grateful for that. Had about 280 in attendance on November 1st on our campus. I've mentioned before that we have a collaborative partnership with the Catawba Reservation here in York County. The Native American Studies Center on Main Street in Lancaster exists to preserve Native American heritage. especially that of the Catawba. And we work very closely with those on the reservation here in the tribe to honor their culture, history, and traditions. We hired a faculty member this fall, Dr. Brooke Bauer, who's the first Catawba to earn a PhD. She did that at UNC Chapel Hill, and we hired her after she graduated last May. And she's a professor of history and Native American studies, and she works in our center, and we hope she will work there for many more years. She brings a lot of value to that. And as a Catawba herself, she authenticates a lot of the things that we're trying to do. We had October 4th was the end of our 4th year at the center. We had 8,900 visitors to the center since the prior fall, and that puts us at almost 30,000 visitors in the 4 years of the center's existence. So it's a place where scholars come, where elementary students come, where Red Hat groups come. It's a wonderful destination, 15,000 square feet devoted to Native American history, cultures, and traditions on Main Street in Lancaster. And I will finish with a couple things. For the first time ever, we have a new costumed mascot who's available to be a visitor at community events in our region. And so we would welcome that if y'all have need for a fun time for the Lancer to join a community event. And in May, we will launch our 12th travel study opportunity for students at USC Lancaster, a trip to Western Europe, Paris, Amsterdam, and London. And we're excited about that opportunity for our students. Thank you for letting me be here tonight and to give you an update about our campus next door.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Cox. Appreciate it. Yes,
Thank
sir. Let's see, now we have public forum. I believe 2 people signed up for the rezoning at 4771 Pottery Road. That's part of the public hearing, so I'll just wait and call you then, so you're not limited to the 2 minutes. But the one and only that signed up otherwise, it looks like Thomas, and I can't read your last name.
Be called, Mr. Blackwell,
Oh, okay, yes, sir.
on behalf of Oxco.
Okay, yes, sir. Come forward and just give your name and address, and you have 2 minutes.
Mr. Blackwell, I'm just here representing Oxco. I'm an attorney with Womble, Carlisle, Sanders, and Rice.
Okay.
I'm working with Stephanie Yarborough on this matter, and we would just like to appear to express our gratitude to the council and their commitment in this matter, particularly to David Swanson. We certainly appreciate the work and the attention that you've given to this matter, and we'd like to thank you for that. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Okay, next order of business, public hearings. We're going to consider third reading and public hearing for case number 1622, rezone property from UD to RUD at 4771 Pottery Road. First, would anybody here want to speak against this rezoning? Anybody want to speak in favor? And I'll ask for Nicole Barfield first, I assume. Yes, ma'am.
I would like you to please rezone this. I'm homeless and I don't have nowhere to go. I'm sorry, I'm emotional.
Oh, you're fine.
But the usage was changed before we purchased it. I mean, it was changed after we purchased it. And so now we're having to wait to get it back rezoned correctly so we can use it for residential.
Okay. Thank you, Kim. And then Kim Hill, I'm sorry, Kim Hill.
I can't touch that.
Okay. Anybody else want to speak in favor? Do we have a motion to close?
Move to close.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Do we have a new motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Next item.
Mr. Chairman, excuse me
yes,
for
sir.
interrupting, and I apologize, but there was an item, Ms. Jennifer Chandler, to address council, and I don't know what the
Oh,
status.
she
She's not-
bumping for me. She wasn't coming.
Thank you, sir, I apologize.
No problem. Need to keep me on my toes. Appreciate that. Next item, consider holding a public hearing and third reading of an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of a fee in lieu of tax agreement by and between York County Oxco Incorporated and King Street Investments LLC, whereby York County will enter into a fee in lieu of tax agreement with the companies and providing for payment by the companies of certain fees in lieu of ad valorem taxes, providing for the allocation of fee in lieu of taxes payable under the agreement for the establishment of a multi-county industrial business park and other matters related thereto. Anybody here want to speak against? Anybody in favor?
Second.
Discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. New motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Next item. Consider third reading of an ordinance to authorize the execution and delivery of a financing agreement necessary to provide funding for the construction of a new station for the Riverview Special Fire Tax District, to authorize the execution and delivery of all documents and/or instruments necessary or appropriate to consummate such an agreement, and to provide for other matters related thereto. Oh, I skipped a page? Oh, sorry. Kind of a minor little detail. Sorry about that. Now you know where Michael was staying on top of me. Okay. Consider third reading case number 1618, rezoned from PD to RUD1 at Highway 322 and Zinker Road in the Rock Hill community.
Move to approve with conditions.
You want to specify?
Yes. Well, I think the stated conditions already included, but I do have an additional item number 11 I'd like to read into as an additional condition.
So the ones included plus the one you're getting ready to read.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Says the developer declared hereby agrees to include an additional note, number 11, on preliminary and final plat stating that all developed lots in this 39.17 acre tract will be subject to being added to the Herndon Heritage HOA upon affirmation vote by the HOA and by the required percentage in the Herndon Heritage covenants and restrictions of Herndon Heritage HOA of 75% of members. If Herndon Heritage HOA votes to add these lots, they will do so with all income and expenses from the HOA from these developed lots on the 39.17 acres, and these owners will enjoy all rights and privileges of the existing Herndon Heritage HOA. Lots will be subject to be brought into the HOA when 50% of the lots are constructed and upon the other 50% being completed.
Thank you, sir. We had a second, didn't we?
We did.
You did?
Continue my second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Question on the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Next item, consider third reading of an ordinance to authorize the execution and delivery of a financing agreement necessary to provide funding for the construction of a new station for the Riverview Special Fire Tax District, to authorize the execution and delivery of all documents and/or instruments necessary or appropriate to consummate such agreement, and to provide for other matters related thereto.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Question on the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Next item, council to consider amending and approving second reading of an ordinance to amend the existing agreement governing the York Chester Industrial Park to add properties within the geographical boundaries of York County to the multi-county park, to correct and update company names and property owners associated with certain parcels included in the park, to correct and update tax map numbers associated with certain parcels included in the park, to remove properties located within the geographical boundaries of York County that do not qualify for inclusion in the multi-county park, to provide for a public hearing and other matters related thereto.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Question on the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Next item, consider adopting a resolution authorizing the execution and delivery of an amendment to an existing fee in lieu of tax agreement between York County and Excel, the fee agreement, so as to provide for certain additional provisions inadvertently omitted from the fee agreement, and to provide for other matters related thereto.
Move to approve. Second.
Discussion. Question on the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Next item, council to consider approval of an economic development grant agreement by and among South Carolina Public Service Authority, South Carolina Power Team, and York County, South Carolina.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Question on the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Next item, council to consider award of bid number 2367 regarding the purchase of 2 custom fire truck pumpers for use by the Department of Fire Safety to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. Is that Kovach Mobile Equipment Corporation, KME of, are you kidding me?
That's Mahoney.
Thank you, sir. Pennsylvania, for a total cost of $942,040.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Question on the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Next item, request approval to reclassify the utility projects manager position within the engineering department.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Yes, sir.
Just a question on
Mr. Winkler.
both these reclassifications that are coming up. We just finished a study on this in the last year or so and looked at every classification. So my question is, why are we all of a sudden needing to reclassify?
Mr. Shanahan.
When the individual left that, the director of that department made the decision, which we agree with, that this position needed to be upgraded because of the workload that it was doing. And so we just made it better so they could do their job. Like we made sure that qualifications are better. You gotta have a degree, you gotta have a PE and those sort of things.
Any further discussion? Question on the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Next item, request for reclassification of Public Works Building Maintenance Division position.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Question on the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Next item, council to consider the approval of Kimley Horns Engineering Contract Amendment Number 1 in the not-to-exceed amount of $121,115 for cost estimating and risk assessment for potential roadway improvement projects associated with the 2017 Capital Project Sales and Use Tax Initiative.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Yes, sir, Mr.
Sorry, I know we're trying to move it along.
No, you're good.
2 questions, and I meant.
I don't want to get spoiled now.
Yeah. I meant to send these in to staff Thursday night when we got the packet, and somewhere or another, I think I fell asleep before I sent them, so. This one and the next item both are 2 different contractors
Yes,
working
sir.
on pennies. Is there a reason, do we split, are they looking at different aspects
They're
of it,
looking
or-
at different projects,
Okay.
and basically, they're identifying the projects that we've given them, and the reason for the increase is we did budget this money, but when we started it, we didn't know exactly what it would cost, so we got something to get them going, and now we have specific costs.
And just to echo that, we are not exceeding the amount we originally estimated. for
No,
the
we're
budget,
not,
correct?
yes, ma'am.
All right.
Question on the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Next item, council to consider the approval of HDR's engineering contract amendment number 1 in the not-to-exceed amount of $151,515.60 for cost estimating and risk assessment for potential roadway improvement projects associated with the 2017 Capital Project Sales and Use Tax Initiative.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Question on the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Next item, consider authorizing staff to apply for and accept, if awarded, for the fiscal year 2017 Keep South Carolina Beautiful affiliate grant in the amount of $10,000 with no matching funds required.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Question on the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Next item, consider authorizing staff to apply for and accept, if awarded, for the fiscal year 2017 Palmetto Pride Community Pride Grant in the amount of $10,000 with no matching funds required.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Question on the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Next item, council to consider a request from the Sheriff's Office for approval of the Palmetto Pride Enforcement Grant in the amount of $4,172.33. No matching, it is a non-matching grant.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Question on the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Next item, council to consider a request from Sheriff Bruce Bryant to allow Deputy Frank Ferris to retain his service weapon.
Move to approve.
Discussion. Question on the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Next item, consider adopting a resolution of the York County Council declaring and publishing the results of the referendum held on November 8th, 2016 on the establishment of a special tax district known as the Lake Wiley Parks and Recreation District pursuant to South Carolina Code 4930 at SEC. Okay. That lawyer talk.
I thought you were speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
Mr. Chairman, I would
Yes,
point
sir.
out, just for the record, that by a vote of 7,062 in favor and 5,263 opposed, the question passed.
Yes, sir. Mr. Roddy.
And I also want to add that I think my committee will be taking up some discussion about the property that they're looking to
Your
use.
committee.
Yeah,
Thought you said community.
my committee.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be taking up some discussion on the property that they look to use for the sports complex.
You're going to do that in the next month?
He doesn't have to, technically, he doesn't have to. We had a discussion in Finance Day about that. He has till February
Oh,
to
okay.
get to that.
Okay, good enough.
Nothing's going to happen.
No rush.
Pressure on me that fast.
No rush. Question on the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Next item, council to consider first reading by title only of an ordinance to establish and create a special tax district to be known as the Lake Wiley Parks and Recreation District in York County, South Carolina, to define its areas and boundaries, to define the nature of the services to be rendered therein, to fix the maximum level of taxes which may be levied, to provide for the operation and maintenance of Lake Wiley Parks and Recreation District, and to provide for other matters related thereto.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Question on the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Next item, consider adopting a resolution of the York County Council declaring and publishing the results of the referendum held on November 8th, 2016, on the establishment of four-year staggered terms for county council members pursuant to South Carolina Code 4990.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
just
sir.
As a matter for the record, I would point out that the referendum passed 52,011 votes yes, 50,733 no.
Thank you, sir. Discussion? Question on the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Do we have a motion on consent agenda?
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Question on the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Committee reports, Finance and Operations Committee, Chairman Michael Johnson.
Mr. Chairman, the committee met today at 5 o'clock. We approved Darrell Watts for the Building Board of Appeals and Rob Worley for the Building Board of Appeals.
Is that in any district?
That is for architect and engineer. Those are
Okay.
trade specific.
Okay.
We deferred a vote on the Catawba Regional Workforce Investment Board. We approved Wendy Michael from District 1 for the York County Library Board and James Darby from District 4 for the York County Planning Commission. We also had a discussion regarding the Lake Wiley Tax District Board, in which we were informed by Mr. Kendry that the soonest that the Finance and Operations Committee can meet to start approving members for that board is in the second week of January. Because we can't start approving people out of our committee until till we've at least gotten all the three readings through. And that is going to take up until the end of this year. And as you all know, our first meeting is not technically a meeting. So we will look at that. Hopefully we'll have a good bit of names in, but I wanted to publicly state that is, we can't get through all the readings in time to get this done before the second week in January. We also had an initial discussion regarding water and sewer rates. We asked that same proposal be sent over to the Public Works Committee for their review, and then that maybe perhaps Finance and Operations and Public Works have a joint meeting after that so we can all kind of make some decisions on this and then get it out of the various committees. And that's what we did today.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Next item's council member new non-agenda comments. Any council member have it? Yes, sir, Mr. Roddy?
I just want to make note to everyone sitting here and watching on TV, and maybe the media picks it up. We have an upcoming meeting with the community to boast or to build up our contractors list, to start getting more locals involved in the bid process and take advantage of some of the opportunities that York County is going to put before them. I'll throw it over to Bill to get a date of the meeting that we.
Trish, what's the date? She's.
December 7th, it's a Wednesday night at 6 o'clock here in the council chamber.
Okay, so that's December 7th here in the council chambers meeting. This is going out to all the contractors, local subs, anyone that's looking to get or be a part of the process to come to York County and bid for work in the upcoming very near future. Because as stated in some of our previous meetings, looking at the capital improvement bond that was just approved, we're going to be spending in excess over $100 million, and we want to make sure that our community knows what we have going on and how they can be a part of what we're doing so that they can possibly take advantage of getting in the loop and being part of the process and hopefully retaining some of the work that we're about to start bidding out. So that's December the 7th here in council chambers at 6 o'clock. So we're inviting everyone to come out and find out how they can be a part of what we got going on here locally.
And that's one of 3 meetings, is it? One of 3 meetings that we'll be doing.
Any other? Yes,
I'll
sir.
piggyback on that
Winkler?
just to remind staff that December 7th is the City of York's Christmas Parade, which starts at 4:30 that afternoon, and it'll be finishing probably somewhere around 5:30 or 6. So it may be a little tricky getting into here. It ends at my office on the other end of town, so it'll be cleared up at this end by that time. But there will be quite a few pedestrians downtown and stuff going on with the Christmas parade that day. So.
Okay, any other comments? Yes, sir, Mr. Winkler.
And along with that, the city will be lighting the Christmas tree by the courthouse that evening, I believe at 5:30 or 6. As soon as the parade's over, they'll have the official lighting of the Christmas trees.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any other comments? There being none, do we have a motion for executive session?
Move that we go into executive session for the receipt of legal advice regarding Pole Branch Road projects, tracks 61, 91, and 2, the dilapidated house issue, additional land use issues requiring county action, good grief, and a personnel matter regarding the positions of training officer, director of fire safety, and volunteer services director.
Good enough, Bill?
Yes, sir.
We got a second? Yes, sir, Mr.
If you're
Roddy?
going to open up the discussion, I want to make one more quick comment.
Sure.
This may be not appropriate for the discussion for executive session, but I did want to recognize the students that we have kind of in attendance. We have a plethora of students
I
coming
know,
up.
y'all didn't even get the full experience. I don't know. I think you're gonna have to come down and watch us fight about something.
Nobody else.
No, this is pretty much standard. This is how it's moving.
That's how it should be.
Pretty much it. Like, is Winthrop?
No, Fort Mill.
Oh, Fort Mill? Fort Mill, which high school? Fort Mill High.
Mr. Ambrose's class?
Okay.
Somebody gave y'all a heads up that this was gonna be an easy meeting.
Yeah,
Glad
is
to
this
have
where
you
you had
here.
to sign off if you came?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, executive session, question on the motion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. We'll be back at 6:35. Okay, we just came out of executive session. We have one action item.
Make a motion to authorize a condemnation action for track 61, 91, and 2 in the Pole Branch Road project.
Do we have some discussion? Question on the motion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. There being no further business, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.